Harper Audio presents Darkest Mercy by Melissa Marr, narrated by Landrum.
Prologue. Neil walked through the ruins of the tattoo shop. Shards of painted glass crunched under his boots. The floor was strewn with vials of ink, unopened needles, electrical apparatus he couldn't identify, and other things he'd rather not identify. The Dark King had known rage before, known grief. He'd felt helpless, felt unprepared, but he'd never before had all of those emotions converge on him at once. He paused and lifted one of the mangled bits of metal and wire from the floor. He turned it over in his hand. Only a year ago, a tattoo machine, maybe this one, had bound Iriel to the mortal who had brought the former Dark King and Neil together again after a millennium. Iriel was the constant, the one faery that had been a part of Neil's life, for better and worse, for more than 1,000 years. Neil stabbed his bloodied hand with the broken tattoo machine. His own blood welled up and mingled with the drying blood on his hands. His blood. Iriel's blood is on my hands because I couldn't stop Bananach. Neil lifted the broken machine in his hand, but before he could stab himself a second time, a hound grabbed his wrist. No. The hound, Gabriel's mate, Chela, took the machine. The stretcher is here and... Is he awake? Mutely, Chela shook her head and led him toward the living room, where Iriel lay. He will heal, Neil said, trying the words out, testing the hound's reaction to his opinion. I hope so, she said, even as her doubt washed over him. Iriel was motionless on the litter. The uneven rising and falling of his chest proved that he still lived, but the pinched look on his face made clear that he was suffering. His eyes were closed, and his taunting grin was absent. The healer was finishing packing some sort of noxious-smelling plants against the wound, and Neil wasn't sure whether it was worse to look at Iriel or at the bloodied bandages on the floor. The hound, Gabriel's second in command, lowered her voice. The hunt stands at your side, Neil. Gabriel has made that clear. We will fight at your side. We will not let Bananach near you. Neil came to stand beside Iriel and asked the healer, Well? He's as stable as can be expected. The healer turned to face Neil. We can make him comfortable while the poison takes him, or we can end his No! Neil's abyss guardians flared to life in shared rage. You will save him. Bananach stabbed him with a knife carved of poison. He's as good as dead. The rest of the words were lost under the Dark King's roar of frustration. Iriel opened his eyes, grabbed Neil's hand, and rasped, Don't kill the messenger, love. Shut up, Iriel, Neil said, but he didn't pull his hand away. With his free hand, he motioned for the waiting faeries to approach. Be careful with him. Neil released Iriel's hand so that the faeries could lift the stretcher. As they left the tattoo shop, hounds fell into formation around Neil and the injured king, walking in front, flanking them, and following them. The former Dark King's eyes closed again. His chest did not appear to rise. Neil reached out and put a hand on the injured faery's chest. Iriel! Still here. Iriel didn't open his eyes, but he smiled a little. You're an ass, Neil said, but he kept his hand on Iriel's chest so that he could feel both pulse and breath. You too, Gunkana, Iriel murmured. Far too many miles away from Huntsdale, Keenan leaned against the damp cave wall. Outside, the desert sky glimmered with stars. But he wanted to be home. Had wanted to be home since almost the moment he'd left. Soon. He'd needed to be away, needed to find answers, and until he did that, he couldn't.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?